that down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Kraven the Hunter is now out in theaters and is one of the biggest bags of cinematic shite I have ever seen in my life. To give some context, back at CinemaCon, as Chris alluded to, in April, when Aaron Taylor Johnson, the great Ricky Tikki, came on the big screen and said, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait for this. You guys see this movie. It's going to be hardcore, rated R. It's going to be all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, they got a decent writer. I like J.C. Chandor as a director. He did Margin Call, which I love that movie. So they brought him in as a director. You got Aaron Taylor Johnson starring, and I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm thinking, okay, finally, even on paper, this is so much better looking already than Madam Web and Morbius and all that kind of stuff when you looked at the writers and all that kind of stuff. And I believed.
He believed.
I believed. I'm like Megatron in Transformers 1. I believe in the primes. They would never do us dirty. He would never steer us wrong. He's out there fighting for us. Only to then want to rip him in half at the end. Going into the theater, even after I heard a lot of bad early reactions, I was still like, you know what? I still believe. Just give me some great action, give me some great violence, and even if there's other weaknesses, I'll still be happy, right? Kraven took my hope like a precious baby seal and clubbed it to death on the snows of AMC Theater and left me bleeding and crying for mama. Damn, this movie sucks. Oh my God, this movie's so bad. I will not say that it joins the trinity of the worst 3 cinematic Hollywood films of all time. I'm not going to say that, but I will say it's in my top 10 now. It is one of the top 10 most incompetently, inept, poorly executed films I've ever seen in my life. Oof. I'm going to give you this, this is a small little thing, okay? But it speaks to the incompetence of which this movie was made, okay? Small little details that are so easy to not get wrong. Characters standing in the middle of a frozen tundra talking, and you don't see their breath. Little things. A young Calypso and her grandmother sitting in chairs on the African plain, as you can clearly see there's a strong wind, right? You see the bushes going, you see their hair kind of flying, but she's playing with tarot cards and she puts down a tarot card and the camera goes to a tight close-up of it, clearly in a studio somewhere, because apparently these are wind-resistant tarot cards. Doesn't affect the tarot cards at all. I mean, I'm just pointing out right now these little things that speak to the incompetence of how overall this movie was made. Now, let me start with some good things, okay? I want to talk about some good things. I thought 5 minutes into this movie, they made the right decision choosing Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron Taylor Johnson could have been a great Kraven. And you can tell that immediately. And you can tell that Aaron Taylor Johnson gave a crap about this movie. He did. You can tell. Ricky Tikki believed in this movie. He wanted to make it work. He committed to it. He did everything he could. Okay? And they picked the right guy, and he could have been a great Kraven. So I'm going to say that is a positive. They picked the right guy. Another positive thing I'll give is that there is an action sequence near the end of Act 2 that involves Kraven, a car chase where Kraven's on foot, chasing a car, that transitions into a helicopter chase. That is a really good scene. I'm going to give it that. Yeah, it's not, Civil War airport fight scene level good, but it was a good scene. I want to give it that. Now that's 3 minutes out of the movie. And then the rest was a violation of all that is good and holy. Let me give you an example. So, great, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kraven, we're here to see Kraven, we're here to see Kraven action, blah, blah, blah. The movie starts with the first 8 minutes that they dropped online, right? First 8 minutes that they dropped online. That I thought was actually pretty okay. I didn't think it was amazing. But when they dropped those first 8 minutes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm on board. Those first 8 minutes end. And you know what comes after those 8 minutes, Chris? 24 minutes of a flashback to young Kraven being sad.
Aww.
24 fucking minutes of no Aaron Taylor Johnson,
no abs,
no abs. Yeah, and at one point, and at one point turns to me and says, "They're wearing way too many clothes." I mean, like, you at least could have done something.
I'm so sad about my abs.
I don't have abs yet. I'm so sad. Like, literally, like these, I get it. Like, all these superhero movies sometimes will do a little flashback to when they're a bit younger, but you keep those sequences to like 5-6 minutes long. It was like 24 minutes.
It's a bold move.
Of Aaron Taylor, Kravenless, useless minutes.
Boo.
Of Russell Crowe, my favorite actor in the world, giving a horrible Russian accent. Oh, your mother was weak. If I had a nickel for every time Russell Crowe said your mother was weak, I would have had $1. All right? And you have an Academy Award winner playing Calypso, who I think she's great. Ariana DeBose, she's great. I love her. She was terrible.
Oh no.
In this.
Aw,
Terrible
that's a shame.
in this. It's just, wait, what? Why is she saying that? Then the whole crux of the movie, all right, is like young Kraven gets attacked by a lion and is dying. Oh, but fortunately, a young Calypso comes upon him in the African wilds, and wouldn't you know it, aren't we lucky today? Her grandmother just gave her a vial of secret juice. No explanation to it. Just the secret juice. This is our family secret. It'll heal anything. So she comes across this bleeding boy and takes the secret juice and pours it down his mouth. Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me that there's some lady sitting out in the African wilds right now with the cure to cancer and is keeping it to themselves?
Well, it came from that Amazon jungle originally. That doesn't change the fact it's not used for cancer. I'm just saying it came from that Amazon jungle.
But they're sitting out in the African wilds and say, oh, but this is our family secret. Just pour it into his mouth. And then first of all, no explanation as to what the secret juice is. And then when he takes it, for some reason, he starts seeing these mystic images and symbols and like, bleh. And of course, the lion bleeds into his gaping wound, which turns him into Kraven the Hunter. And it's like, I'm just the whole thing. I'm like, wait, just wait. The whole premise here is that Grandma Calypso has a vial of the magic juice. That's their family's secret recipe. It's literally the cure to every disease known to mankind, and they're just sitting on it.
It's concentrated Viagra.
Pfizer, coming to help everybody.
Stand you right up
So it's like, oh, okay. So it's basically a super soldier serum,
when you get knocked down.
but just made with a couple of leaves and some juju beeps. I don't know.
Choo-choo beeps.
I mean, listen, this movie, and still to this day, I walked out of the theater. I still don't know what the movie was about. Okay, yeah, I mean, at some point you think the movie's going to be about this, but then it becomes about different things about 4 times through the movie. Like, it initially becomes about, Kraven against his dad. Well, no, it's not about that. Now it's about Kraven having a list of bad guys. Oh, no, wait, now it's about Kraven trying to help Calypso. Wait a minute, now it's about Kraven trying to stop this other mobster from taking out his dad. Wait a minute, now it's about Kraven trying to save his brother. No, wait a minute, it was about the dad the whole time. And then, in the midst of all this, Rhino, who is the big bad guy, he's got some main henchman called the Foreigner, who, when he sees you, he says, 1, 2, and then I don't know what his power is. Time stops, he's the Flash. I don't know. They never really explain what the fuck this guy does, but he's the Foreigner and he's mean. Oh, and let's talk about the dialogue for a second. Every line of dialogue in this movie was brutal bullshit exposition on a 4th grade level. Hey, dude, how are you doing? I'm after the Hunter. Well, why is that? I had a mentor who taught me everything I know. And he was like a brother to me, and the hunter broke into his thing and killed him, and now I'm mad, and I want to go get him. You want to tell us anything else about yourself? No, not necessary. Okay, so then they do that. And then we got the rhino. Okay, the rhino.
Did he get the rhino juice?
Kind of. Rhino took a juice that kept him from becoming the rhino, because being the rhino hurts. So he's got to constantly, you know how Bane is always hooked up to his venom?
Oh, yeah.
That gives him strength? It's like the opposite of that. Like if he's always carrying around this backpack with this IV tube in him that keeps him from turning into the rhino, because being the rhino hurts. All right. How does the rhino become the rhino? I found this doctor who gave me something. That's it. That's our origin story of the rhino, who literally says at one point, oh, I found this doctor who could do the great things. Unfortunately, it really, really hurts, so I got to try to stay in this form. What's with the magic jujube juice? Wait, how did you become the rhino? And in the end, of course, Kraven's brother becomes chameleon, because of course he does. That's what he does. How does he become the chameleon and get these magic powers? Oh, I went to go see that doctor. Okay, sure.
Dr.
Why not?
Juice.
It's scene after scene of the most, other than Aaron Taylor Johnson, who was clearly trying his best. Some of my favorite actors out there, Du Bois, Russell Crowe. Oh my God, all the acting is so bad in this thing. But they weren't done any favors because the dialogue is some of the worst level shit I've ever heard. And this is the confusing part to me. It's coming from a pretty solid writer and a clearly solid director. And I don't know, what did somebody tell them? Listen, we need this to fail. We need this to be as bad as it can possibly be. And then it does this ridiculous 1 year later. Wait a minute. Why did Dimitri suddenly become a dick? Look, it is simply a matter of they never knew what the story of this movie was. Like right from the beginning. When you watch this film, you realize you get to the end, you could just tell they didn't know what this movie was going to be about. And I feel like they just made it all up as they went along. Some Madam Web level horrible dialogue with incredibly wooden and stiff performances, with cliche after cliche after cliche, with major important narrative MacGuffin stuff never explained. It is, watching Kraven the Hunter is such a frustrating experience. And it just doubles the ass hurtness of it all. The fact that I believed in this thing.
Well, that was the funny part to me. That's what made it a comedy.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Is that, oh, look at John thinking there's a chance this thing could be good.
Yeah.
So you recommend this film?
Oh, God.
Also, I had a question. This or Rebel Moon? Dialogue-wise.
Ooh.
Dialogue-wise, which one was...
Just dialogue? They're on the same level.
Oh.
But Kraven the Hunter is worse than Rebel Moon.
Oof.
Wow.
I mean,
Kraven
you
the
gotta
Hunter is
try.
worse than Morbius. Kraven the Hunter is worse than Madam Web. Kraven the Hunter is one of the 10 worst films ever made by a major Hollywood studio.
I'm doing a
my
marathon at some
God.
point. I'm doing Morbius, Madam
This-
Web, and Kraven
And
all
then
at
And
Kraven,
once.
listen,
yeah,
you
gotta.
guys know I'm not just some hater who's. I have been cheering for this movie. I've been the one like an idiot standing in the middle of Times Square in a pair of diapers yelling, "The end is near." I've been telling people, Kraven, it could be okay. It's got a director and it's got a decent writer and it's got Ricky Tikki Tacky and like this is going to be okay. And they betrayed me.
Well, this is why you can't trust or love anyone, John.
The calzones betrayed me.
That's a
You
solid
lost
Ben
your
Wyatt.
mind.
Well
That's an
done.
insider thing. You have to understand that.
It's a thing when a movie makes you lose your mind.
I'm just sitting there watching. I can't remember the last time I was this angry watching a movie. I'm like, just please do something good. And then that car helicopter chase scene happened. I'm thinking, okay, all right, well, all right, maybe we're about to get something.
No.
Maybe we're about to get something. But no, the pretty girl isn't about to kiss you. She just accidentally bumped into you in the McDonald's line. That's it. Nothing fun was about to happen after that. It was a brief tease, and then like a fart in the wind, it was gone.
But then she became the lioness because she bumped into him.
And because she found this doctor.
Yeah.
Sounds like you shouldn't see a movie for a little bit.
Like I want to go see Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim today.
great.
I need a palate cleanser.
I had
I'm
such a
gonna
nice
go,
time.
You know
I
what?
gotta go see that later
Yeah,
today.
either go do that or like I recommend Heretic.
Heretic's out. Carry On comes out.
Well, I've
today
seen
on
Heretic,
Netflix.
but Carry On.
know?
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Aura. Let's be honest, what most people really want for the holidays is to see their favorite people more often. That's why this year, the best gift you can give, besides plane tickets, is an Aura digital picture frame. Named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter, Aura frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. Ann and I have had ours for a while now, and we absolutely love it. Because you may not know, Ann and I like to take a lot of pictures, including a lot of our dogs, Ann's recent trip to Paris, and a whole bunch of other things. And we love having it right on display right there in our living room. So save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get 35% off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code Campea at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Campea. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, do something.
There's some palette cleansers available to you.
Oh my, I try to talk about negative things in movies that I love, and I try to talk about the positive things in movies that I dislike. This is one of the worst pieces of cinematic vomit right up your anal cavity that I have ever seen. It is a horribly made, horribly executed, no thought, no strategy, no direction. Just look at Aaron Taylor Johnson's abs. Do we need anything more? Kind of approach to filmmaking.
Well, are they that wrong?
And maybe, but you know what? But as Ann pointed out, he wasn't nearly shirtless enough.
Well, that's fair. Thank you, Anne, for doing the hard
So,
work.
go ahead. I now open it to the floor to tell me I told you so. Go ahead. I'm here. I'll take it because I acknowledge it. Everybody tried to say this is gonna be crap, and I'm like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. See, Madam Web, they had the worst director or the worst writers in the world. So did Morbius. This one, it's gonna be fine.
You know, there's some people who gave it like a raving review.
I found it.
What?
Well, see, that's
So
the
meta.
beautiful thing. The beautiful thing is that movies are subjective. And what is great to you will be terrible to somebody else, and what you think is horrible to somebody will find joy in it. And that's a great thing. And I don't begrudge anybody. Like right now, it's got a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, it's gone down.
I don't begrudge anybody who, if they watched if they watched
Same
Kraven
thing.
and
Yeah.
they liked it, I don't begrudge anybody that. That's great. That's what art is about. It hits us in different ways. Kraven the Hunter just hit me in such a way that it was like a sledgehammer to the balls. And it's so disappointing. It's so bad and it's so terrible. But that's not to take away that somebody else may like it. And if they do, good. I'm happy
Specifically,
about that.
12 people liked
Did
it.
you already go over the positives?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
positive.
Aaron Taylor
Now let's get to the
Johnson
negatives.
and the car and helicopter chase scene.
Okay.
And that's about.
yeah.
And that's what.
Oh, but here's the other thing, right? Rhino. These mobsters want to challenge Rhino. They don't know what they're dealing with. So the mobster's trying to shoot him, but bullets can't pierce the Rhino's skin. Woo! But guess what? That doesn't matter, because a little bit later on, somebody's just got a knife and goes stabby, and that punctures his skin, no problem.
It's about velocity.
It's about velocity.
I like when there's a physics puzzle in my Marvel movies. It's a fun time. I just feel so justified in my choices. I'm really enjoying myself right now. I'm sorry you had a bad time, but I'm like, man, I did the right thing going to see Lord of the Rings.
There's a part, there are of course those movies where like a movie is so bad, they're like, and I feel this way about Madam Web, where a movie's so bad, you're like, guys, you just got to watch it.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's
you gotta
hilariously
see it.
terrible.
You
Is this one of
gotta
them?
see it. Not Kraven.
Oh no.
Oh wow! It can't even get that.
Don't even
That's a
hate
shame.
watch this movie. Don't wait. Go volunteer at a soup kitchen.
But I did.
Go do something else with your time.
Well, that
do
should
that,
happen
though.
anyway. But I have heard people say this is like The Room, and actually, if you just go with friends, you just laugh at it the whole time.
Yeah.
So
My plan is to go see one of like the 10 a.m. showings and just go with Logan.
get a coffee and
yeah, Have a great time.
Yeah.
Laugh our asses off.
Like, oh God. Oh God.
Put a little whiskey in the coffee, you're done.
It's just so, it's just so bad. So bad. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Kraven the Hunter is now out in theaters. Some of you have gone to see it. Okay. Look, and maybe some of you liked it. And if you did, that's great. I celebrate that. I have no words. I'm having like traumatic flashbacks of all the times over the past year where I've said, I've got belief in this movie, only to be shot in the back.
Silly rabbit.
Anyway, whatever you guys thought about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.